Miss Samuelson? Is that you? Hi, it's me, Brianna. Oh my goodness, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you since high school when you were my guidance counselor. How am I doing, you ask? Well, I'm actually a very successful pediatric nurse practitioner now because of you and all the great advice you gave me while I was in college. It's nice to hear from you too. Well, I'm actually in town now, even though I work in Daytona and I'm currently standing in St. Cloud, Florida. I'm actually in town because I just delivered a speech, online of course, due to coronavirus, to a bunch of young high school kids at the National Academy of Future Medical Physicians and Scientists. Yes, because of you and all the hard work I accomplished, I was able to deliver a speech to these kids about finding their career path, their purpose, and making sure that they're ready to work in the medical field. You want to see the video? Of course I can show it to you. Good afternoon, class of 2030. I'm Brianna Forbes, or Dr. Forbes, as I'm known at work, and I'm the Senior Pediatric Nurse Practitioner at Advent Health Hospital. First, I want to say congratulations on almost graduating and well done on recognizing your own interest in the medical field. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Smith, principal here at St. Cloud High School, for asking me to deliver this year's speech to the 2030 National Congress for the National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists. I'm happy that I'm going to be able to take a part in helping guide you guys on your path into the medical field. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? If you would direct your attention to the screen, I have a few slides that I'd like to share with you. Today, we're going to talk about how I found my way to becoming a very successful pediatric nurse practitioner. Now, I want you all to think about this question. What is your purpose? First of all, what is purpose? Well, to me, it is the individual and unique reason each of us was put onto this earth, by whomever it is that you believe in. I've always known my purpose, ever since I was little. I knew my purpose was to help people. I was put on this earth to help people. A little heads up, I'm going to be talking about lots of assignments from my SLS course in college, which is designed to help new college students figure out what they want to do in the future. In my case, that class simply reinforced what I already knew my purpose was, to help people. Now, back to you guys. So, I think the first step to success in the healthcare field, or any field really, is knowing your purpose. How do you find that, you ask? Well, in the SLS course, we took a series of tests to find our values, interests, and strengths. These tests were a part of our career plan assessment. So, it's very fitting for this lecture on finding your future careers. The first test we took measured our values. Mine were independence, relationships, and support. My strengths were being strategic, an includer, and analytical. My interests were being social and enterprising. Now I know that doesn't sound like the interest you probably thought of when I mentioned the word, but I'm just going by what the test measured. So once you know what your strengths, your values, and your interests are, then you can decide what career aligns with all those qualities, and therefore you'll learn what your purpose is. See, being strategic, analytical, and enterprising are skills you need to come up with treatment plans. Being consistent, social, and valuing relationships make me the kind of person who can connect with patients and treat them all equally. So you can see how knowing these things help you find your career and your purpose. All right, so now you know your purpose and your career. The next step is finding and planning your career pathway. I find it best to get to know who your advisors are, or your guidance counselors. They're the ones who know exactly what classes you need to complete your specific degrees and what classes you need to get into the programs that are unique to your career. After I graduated from Valencia College with my AS of Nursing, right out of high school I might add, because of the amazing dual enrollment program that lots of high schools across America offer, I continued my education at Florida State University, transferring my credits over to their BSN program. Then I went on to earn my master's degree in nursing at Duke University. After that, I had to earn my Pediatric Nurse Board certification in the state of Florida. Finally, I could apply for my ARNP license, and now I work at Advent Health Hospital in Daytona, Florida as a primary care pediatric nurse practitioner. So, the reason I went through that little spiel about knowing what it is that you want to do is because part of finding your career, after you found your purpose, after you've learned what career you want to do, you need to know what certificates, what licenses, and what internships you're going to have to apply for in order to become whatever it is you want to become. To successfully complete my degrees, I took advantage of my academic advisors, so I always knew I was on the right path to my career. It also helped that I kept in touch with my high school gifted program guidance counselors, or in your cases, if you're not in the gifted program, keeping in touch with your guidance counselor will be perfect for you. She kept me updated on scholarships, opportunities, and really helped me and motivated me and encouraged me to continue on this rigorous path to becoming a successful pediatric nurse practitioner. In total, and I know this is going to sound like a hefty number, the cost of my entire master's degree was $82,130. The BSN program at Florida State University cost $18,858. So the cost of my education is pretty high at $100,988. Luckily for me, my AS was free because I was enrolled at Valencia College as a dual enrollment student. Being a DE student cut down the cost by about $40,000, and that's on the cheaper end if you attend a public college and not a private college. I also spoke to tons of people working in the medical field just to keep making sure that this is really what I wanted to do. This is why I can't stress this enough. You need to know your purpose because it's expensive. It is hard work. And if you spend all that time and money doing something that you're not going to love, you're letting down nobody but yourself. So, as I was saying, now you know your purpose. You know how to choose your career and even figure out your academic pathway, which is by seeing your guidance counselors. But how do you make sure you're successful in your curriculum? I made sure to always have a study group within every one of my courses. As far as college resources on my physical campus or online, take advantage of the things that your schools offer, your resources. In my case, I took advantage of the Atlas Library online, which is what I would use to do my reports since it was a scholastic library. And of course, you can go to the physical library to print out assignments and things. You have to remain focused so you can become whatever member of the medical field you want to become. So, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and I may be a little biased in doing this, but I want to encourage you all to become pediatric nurse practitioners by telling you about what I do every day. My job is to interact with kids and their families. It is my job to examine and diagnose young patients as well as prescribe them medicines to help with whatever symptoms they have. I also perform annual checkups, request testing, and make referrals to specialists when necessary. Sometimes I struggle with pinpointing the problems children are having because they may be unable to describe their symptoms to me, or they could be possibly too nervous. So it can be difficult to make accurate diagnoses when I'm unaware of the symptoms children are experiencing that aren't visible. It is important for me to be patient with my clients and keep them comfortable and even having fun if possible. I also take time to explain in layman terms what is going on to children and to their parents, guardians, or caregivers. In general, I need to remain compassionate, detail-oriented, an outside-of-the-box thinker, patient, resourceful, be able to think critically, work efficiently, have strong communication skills, and work well on a team. Sometimes you have to be able to let go of a patient and send them to a specialist for their well-being, and it is always imperative that you communicate with your staff and keep detailed notes on patient progress and things that are related to their medical history or private health information. If you think you're capable of being compassionate and focused and strategic, well, the medical field might just be where you belong. Now, I know I gave you a lot of information today, but I hope you took it all in and you're ready to start your journey to becoming heroes of healthcare. Thank you for listening. And again, I am Brianna Forbes. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.